All right, so we're going to analyze this together because there is a chance you've never analyzed a piece before, or maybe on this level. So you're not going to just be like, yeah, that was sad. That was honestly sad. We're going to actually dive deeper and figure out what aspects made this song sound sad. So a lot of you might be thinking things like minor key or it was a slower tempo. Those are two perfect things to say when analyzing the mood of a song. But let's use some of the newer terms we learned as well. So, one of the terms we learned was pitch. A lot of you already know what pitch is, but for some reason, a lot of students think pitch is connected to volume. Pitch and volume are not the same thing. Volume is like how loud a song is, so that's more like intensity. Sorry, my phone is going off. That's more like intensity, not so much pitch. Pitch is like high or low. So this is like a high pitch. This is like a low pitch. All right, you guys are like, we get it. Move on. Okay, I'll move on. So let's analyze this piece I made and figure out what made the mood sad. Okay, so bet. So right off the bat, it's a slower tempo and it's in a minor key. So yes, that's going to make it sad. Another thing that's going to make the mood sad. So another thing that was used purposefully was the type of instrument. So I'm using like piano and guitar. There's not much distortion. So distortion is going to go to the quality of sound. And so that's going to be my timbre. So it's a very smooth sound. It's very melodic. Another thing we can deduct is that the rhythm in the drums is very repetitive. A lot of times, more hyper music like rock songs or more happy sounding feeling music, it's going to have a lot of different alterations throughout the drum, but my drums are very repetitive. It kind of keeps the same emotion going over and over again. So a lot of times we can think about the mood we're feeling. Like when I think of happiness, I think that I'm a little bit over all over the place. I'm high intensity, so maybe the volume is louder. It's just a bigger song, so more things are happening. But when I think of sadness, it's a lot more mellowed down. It's very smooth. So this is why the piece is overall smooth. Next thing, when I think of sad music, so again, the mood is sad, I think of lower pitches. Now, this melody that just came in is a higher pitch, but one thing I made sure that didn't happen, I gotta close me out for a second, um, is let me find it's okay. So this is the line for the melody that just came in. I made sure that the bass wasn't drowned out by my melody line because the bass, the lower pitches are going to give me a sadder mood. However, I still think highs, mids, and lows are important to pieces. But yeah, it's not going to drown out the lows of the song if you're trying to make a sad song. And then last but not least, in the melody, there is a lot of notes that are sustained. So we have notes that cross over multiple measures, and it doesn't add, there's not a lot of differences in the pitches. There's only a few pitches happening in the melody because when I think of a sad song, I don't think a lot of notes are necessary. And you'll see that too. A lot of sad music doesn't have a whole lot of notes behind it, but if you see more happy music, it is going to have a lot more involved. A perfect example for that, those of you who are familiar with Disney's Pixar Up, that the main theme, the da 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 dun, da 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 dun, da 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 dun, dun 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 dun. That happened throughout the entire movie, but when it was used for more happy scenes, it was faster, and they added a lot of like glissando and just a lot more notes. But when the wife died in the movie, sorry, spoiler alert. When the wife died in the movie, it was much slower, and it was the same theme, but they kind of took out notes and they meditated on some of the notes, and they just kind of just drew it out more. So you can really play around with tempo and rhythm and intensity and timbre and pitch to completely change the mood of a piece. Now, I know I kind of spoke a lot, and I'm not expecting you to do all of that for your analysis, but I do encourage you to use some of those new words and maybe type around 5 sentences and analyzing the song. So, yeah, bye.